I got my dad, my uncle, and my mom here as my guests today. The mission of the Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. That's the Toastmasters motto. Going into this public speaking class, I had seen that I was going to have to take a trip to 2 Toastmaster meetings, and I wasn't exactly sure what Toastmaster meetings were or what I would be doing there. Leading up to it, especially to the day that I had to go, I was starting to get a little nervous because being that it was speaking class and I was going for my speaking class, I was wondering if I was going to have to get in front of a crowd, especially a crowd I didn't know, and speak, and if so, for how long, or what it's over. And just the anticipation and the time waiting until that meeting, it built up, and it made me more nervous. But as I got to the meeting and we sat down, and the 2 ladies came in that were in control of the meeting, they introduced themselves and we introduced ourselves, and from then on it was very friendly and inviting and open to guests. And right away I could tell it was going to at least be fun, whatever it was. During the meeting, we had the president there, and they started the meeting after we went through the pledge, and then the guests, me and my friend that I invited to go with me, each individual guest had to stand up and introduce themselves and say where they came from and how they heard about the Toastmasters meeting. After we did that, we sat down and we watched 2 great presentations by 2 of the Toastmaster members. One was a 20-minute presentation over their new website that was built, and showing how easier it was for the members to connect with each other and work out the meetings before they attend them the week ahead of time. It was also showing how easy it was for guests, such as myself, to get in touch with the president or anyone in control to figure out what the meetings are about, when the meetings are taking place, where the meetings are taking place. Because me personally, between my mother and I, we found it very hard to get a hold of anybody or find a meeting that was taking place because it happened to be during the 4th of July weekend. And most of them were closed, or the ones that weren't, we couldn't get a hold of. So seeing that they were making this new website not only pleased me to see how well she did the presentation, but also to see how easy it will be next time a guest or myself needs to attend that meeting. Later on in the meeting, they had a section called Table Topics, which was where one of the members got up in the front and started talking about stories, just whatever they wanted to talk about. And midway through the stories, they would come across a question, and they would invite a guest that had volunteered ahead of time, or a member, to stand up and deliver a 1 to 2 minute speech on answering the question they had. I was one of the lucky guests that got to stand up and present one of those answers for a 1 to 2 minute speech. And initially I was kind of nervous, but when it came down to it, I found it more not as a public speaking, all eyes on me, nerve-wracking speech, as more of this is a challenging, fun kind of task at hand, and I took it as a challenge and ran with it, and it was actually fun. I enjoyed the meeting, and my guests seemed to enjoy the meeting as well. After attending the meeting, I have one more I have to go to and write a 2-page paper on to see how it goes, and I'm wanting to encourage other people to go to Toastmaster meetings as well, because I strongly believe that it will help them gain confidence and gain the ability to speak in front of people and speak proper in front of people. And my friend would say the same. I want to thank you for your time spent in listening to me, and I hope that I've encouraged you to attend a Toastmasters meeting. But before I leave you, I want to leave you with a little grabber by Edward Bennett Williams. They don't need a lawyer. They need a Toastmaster. Thank you.
Making